So for the past couple of months, I've been testing the Bedrock Sandals Cairn Evo C. And these are a new sandal from Bedrock Sandals. And it's kind of their solution to a more cushioned version of their sandals. And I gotta say, these might be the best sandals that I have used, period. Now, this is coming from someone who has used Chacos and likes Chacos and prefers Chacos over my other pair of Bedrock sandals. And I think I have the Cairn Evo Pro 2, I think is what it is. And those sandals are great. I like how stiff they are, and I love the tread on them. But my goodness, those sandals hurt to do any sort of urban walking or walking on any hard surface, whether that be like a boardwalk or anything really, like walking on sidewalks and trying to go doing like a walk within the city hurt my feet. Like my feet would take a couple days to recover after. So when I caught wind that Bedrock was going to come out with a cushioned version of their sandal, I was hooked immediately. And this is something that Bedrock had been working on for maybe like a year or two, and they had finally just come out. And they are seriously such an awesome sandal. I was surprised by the immediate comfort that they had. Like immediately when I got them, obviously, because I got them towards the end of winter. So like it wasn't ideal sandal weather, but as soon as the snow started to melt and that sidewalks were opening up, I was walking in these things and I was really surprised by how just out of the box comfortable they were. Now, I was kind of a little bit concerned maybe about how they would handle sidewalks, being that they're not as like big as a Chaco. Like Chacos are pretty bulky, and this is still pretty, it's a pretty small sandal. Like even though it's got cushioning, it's not the thickness of a Chaco or even like a thick Tiva for that matter. So at first I was like, okay, like they put more cushioning, way more cushioning. It's a much softer ride, but how is it actually going to perform on the sidewalk? And yeah, these were immediately more comfortable than my Chacos. Like immediately. Now, if you can't tell, like I'm really giddy about these because I like my Chacos, but I even still have problems with them. I can't walk long distances on hard surfaces with my Chacos or any period or any distance for that matter with my Chacos because they start to hurt my feet. And the Bedrock sandals are such a comfortable sandal. I don't know if it's just like the mix of the strap system and maybe because it's zero drop. And it is worth to note that all Bedrock sandals are zero drop shoes. And it at first it's kind of awkward. Like when I first got these and the mountain clogs, I forgot how to walk in a zero drop shoe, and it was a lot of like hard heel striking, and it just a lot of like slapping the ground with the sandals. And you definitely knew when I was walking because it was pretty loud. But as soon as I kind of figured out the gait again for how to walk in these, it was really, really comfortable. And a zero drop shoe kind of makes it a more natural feeling experience to walk. You know, most shoes have a drop to them, and going to a zero drop just kind of brings you back to that kind of flat footedness, and you kind of walk a little bit more natural, I guess. But in my experience, the zero drop with the Bedrock sandals is a really comfortable experience just for everything, and it gives you a lot of like security in the shoe. And now with them being so cushioned, it was like the thing that I've been waiting for. But that also brings me to another point, and that point is that they actually changed the sizing ever so slightly with the sandals. The sandals are now a little bit wider and they're a little bit longer. And when I say a little bit, it really is just a little bit. It's definitely noticeable for how wide they are, but they're not as wide, I guess, as like a Chaco or something like that. They're definitely wider than the previous kind of sizing of Bedrock sandals, and that little bit really got me to like them really fast, because that's actually something that I didn't like about the previous version that I had, is that it felt like it was almost too narrow, and like I had broken my pinky toes, so they kind of lay a little weird, and a lot of times I'd have like a pinky toe sticking over the edge, and I didn't like it. I was always worried about it getting caught or snagged on something, and that's not a great experience. So to get a little bit wider of a sandal and having a little bit better of a fit on the sandal was huge for me, because now I was like, I'm just going to daily these all the time. And that comfort really does come from the new footbed. Now, it might not be the most durable footbed, and it's definitely not the stiffest, as this footbed is actually pretty flexible, and I can show you right now. But that flexibility into the sandal adds to more, I think, the overall comfort of the sandal, especially when you're dealing with hard surfaces. Like, let's say you were walking in a mall. Yeah, I know the malls are kind of dead, but what if you're walking in these shops or in the city or any of these places? I think having a totally stiff shoe is more of a detriment to comfort. It'd be like walking on a hard packed trail or even just a regular trail in mountaineering boots. It's awkward, it feels weird, it's too stiff. And I feel like that was kind of the story with my other pair of Bedrock sandals. That I loved how stiff they were because it gave great confidence if you're trying to scramble on rock. But man, when you're walking on a hard surface, you kind of felt everything and it kind of like vibrated through your feet. Whereas these have a lot of better qualities of kind of absorbing impact with the cushioning and like with the more flexibility in the footbed. Like there's just a lot to this that makes it a very comfortable ride. And it really is just it's an amazing ride. Now we'll have to see with more use of how the footbed holds up. That's kind of a thing with a footbed that's more cushion style, is that you might not have the best longevity. And that's something that Bedrock had been promoting with their other series, where it was a harder footbed, more stiffer footbed, but what you get is more longevity. And like I said, we'll have to see if there is any big trade-offs with having a more cushioned footbed. Personally, I would take the durability trade-offs any day. And then even if there is a problem with durability, these have an amazing warranty and resole program. You should definitely look into it. If you've got a pair of Bedrock sandals that are needing a little love, they can definitely repair them up and get you a new footbed and keep your old straps. And it's an awesome program. Definitely look into it. And because I mentioned straps, it is worth to note that this is using kind of their basic system, the kind of Y strap with the toe. And then rather than having a hook and loop in the back or like a buckle, they just use Velcro in the back. I think it actually works to its advantage to use Velcro. It's easy to adjust on the fly. And I feel like, again, this is more of like a comfort-based sandal. It's definitely awesome. I've been surprised by what I've been able to do in this. Like walking long distances has been no problem whatsoever. I've actually ran in these, which was very surprising because if I tried to run in my other ones, my feet would just be dead. So it's been really cool to use these. And just every Bedrock detail that you get, like the straps are awesome. The strap system is awesome. The footbed is nice. The zero drop is nice. Using a Vibram outsole is amazing. And it's a super durable outsole. This is Vibram XS Trek. It's actually a more stronger version than something like Mega Grip. Like it's a little bit less sticky and it's very minute, but it's got more durability. So this outsole should last you a long time. But even if, you can get it resold. And I think all those features make this one of the better adventure sandals that you can get. And that also leads me into another point that I was going to bring up is I'm looking at using these as kind of a comfort approach shoe. Because if you think about it, a lot of approach shoes feature a Vibram outsole. These feature a Vibram outsole. And I know in a lot of other places, a lot of people use Chacos as their main kind of approach shoe just because, it's easy in and out. Like you don't want to have to deal with like putting on socks, then putting on shoes to switch to another route. Like you just want something that's easy and simple. I know like a lot of brands like La Sportiva and Scarpa make like flip-flops for that matter. But if you know that here's a sandal that you can use for a lot of purposes and it can actually work out as like a climbing approach shoe and it's got all the specs and features that you'd want in something like that, that's what I'm going to be using it for. Like it literally has all the features that I'd want for like a summer style approach shoe. So with that being said, I'm very excited to get more time in this and to actually use it as more as an approach shoe. We're just getting into summer right now, early summer, and the weather's getting really nice. I have been using this and I'm really excited to be using it for climbing, like bouldering stuff and all that. I mean, Bedrock is an amazing company. They're based in Missoula, which is awesome. And They're really cool, and I highly encourage you to check out Bedrock Sandals if you're looking to either upgrade your current sandal situation or if you're looking for that perfect adventure sandal. So with that being said, if you have any questions about the Cairn Evo C, feel free to leave a comment. I should hopefully be able to answer your question as I have a decent amount of time with these sandals, but obviously the more time I get with them, the more I'll be able to answer. But with that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.